World News and Events COVID-19 on June 18. Note, this is a collaborative video made between Travel for All FanPage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most on June 18 as follows. One. American news. The nation's top infectious disease expert, Dr. Anthony Fauci, has been warning Americans about the risk of further spread of the virus. In the past 24 hours, the U.S. recorded an additional 25,696 people infected, bringing the total number of infections to 2,261,423, of which the number of deaths exceeded 120,000 to 120,615 cases. 929,322 people infected with COVID-19 recovered. A poll conducted by Quinnipiac University on June 18 showed that former Vice President Joe Biden received 49% of the support, compared to 41% for U.S. President Donald Trump in the race to enter the White House in November this year. As coronavirus cases in Arizona hit a new record high, the state is facing another serious threat: wildfires, with several large blazes stoked by extreme heat and drought burning not far from three of its largest cities. Scientists say the fires are an ominous start to what could be a very active fire season in the West, as the pandemic, wildfires, and climate change all converge to create a recipe for potential disaster. Arizona has already seen 3 times as much land burned by fire this year compared to the same time frame in 2019, according to Arizona Department of Forestry and Fire Management statistics. A group of 16 friends went out to a crowded Florida bar to celebrate a birthday have all tested positive for coronavirus. Passenger Brandon Straka was asked to get off a flight from New York to Dallas after he refused to wear a face covering as required by American Airlines policy, the airline confirmed in a statement. Straka will be allowed to fly with American Airlines once face coverings are no longer required for customers, the airline said Thursday in a statement to CNN. CDC of America issues recommendations to help protect beachgoers from COVID-19 spread. Even on the beach, people should stay 6 feet apart, according to the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And yes, face masks are appropriate beach wear. The CDC has released a series of recommendations aimed at government agencies and private entities that manage beaches to help protect staff and beachgoers from the spread of COVID-19. 2. Update: COVID-19 in the world. As of 6 a.m. on June 19, the world recorded 8,565,345 people infected with acute respiratory tract infection caused by COVID-19, including 455,481 deaths and 4,507,785 people recovering. Many European cities have to re-blockade. Chinese experts say the COVID-19 epidemic in Beijing has reached its peak. 3. Brazilian news. Brazil has recorded the highest number of new deaths in the world. In the past 24 hours, 1,204 deaths have been recorded, bringing the total number of deaths in the country to 47,869 out of 983,359 cases of infection. 4. Indian news. India continues to record a new record high number of new cases, with 13,827 cases, bringing the total number of infected people to 381,091, of which there were 12,604 deaths. On June 16, the Union of Indian Traders, CAIT, published a list of over 500 Chinese products boycotted. The organization's Secretary General, Praveen Khandelwal, asked celebrities not to represent images of Chinese products. 5. Chinese news. China is extremely wary of the second wave of the COVID-19 pandemic after Beijing has recorded dozens of new cases every day in the past week. The total number of infections in the past 7 days related to new outbreaks at the largest Tanfat food wholesale market in Asia and the second wholesale market in Habin district have reached 158. The Beijing city government has decided to stop all sporting events, close gyms and schools, stop thousands of flights to and from the city. Many cities have imposed mandatory isolation on people from Beijing. Meanwhile, a leading epidemiologist at China Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, Wu Zhenhu, said that the outbreak of COVID-19 in Beijing was under control, but new cases are still at risk in the next 2 days. He said the Beijing epidemic peaked on June 13 and explained that the new cases did not mean that those patients were newly infected. For example, 21 new cases detected on June 17 were infected before June 12. 6. Turkey news. Turkey authorities have decided to impose limited curfew on weekends. This is considered part of the anti-epidemic measures COVID-19 in the context of exams in schools and universities are approaching. According to Turkish Health Minister Fahrettin Koca, a limited curfew was imposed to limit the gathering of people on the streets during examination time. According to Koca, the total number of deaths due to COVID-19 is 4,882, while the number of COVID-19 cases has reached 184,031. 7. In Germany, Gütersloh district spokesman in the state of Nordrhein-Westfalen announced that the local schools and kindergartens would be closed to slow the spread of SARS-CoV-2 after an outbreak was detected in a butcher companies in this region. 8. News of Italy. According to data from the Italian Civil Protection Agency, on June 18, 331 additional cases of SARS-CoV-2 were reported, bringing the total number of cases in the country to 238,159 cases. Meanwhile, the number of deaths for the disease has increased to 34,514 cases, an increase of 66 cases. There were 1,089 recovering cases during the day, bringing the total number of cured cases to 180,544. The number of active treatment cases increased again with 168 cases, up 5 cases. The total number of hospitalized cases in Italy is now 2,867 of the current 23,101 cases. 9. News of Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Health said the total number of COVID-19 cases in the country now reached 145,991 after recording an additional 4,757 new infections. In addition, in the last 24 hours, Saudi Arabia has also had 48 more deaths due to COVID-19, thereby bringing the total number of deaths to 1,139 people. 10. Vietnam news. Vietnam has experienced 64 days without new cases reported in the community. The number of COVID-19 cases recorded to date is 342, of which 325 patients have been declared cured. Of the remaining 17 patients, 4 patients had a negative test result with COVID-19 from one time or more. 11. Iran news. The Iranian Ministry of Health publishes statistics showing that the number of deaths due to COVID-19 is close to 10,000 milestones. Specifically, in the last 24 hours, Iran has recorded 87 more deaths, bringing the total number of deaths from this dangerous disease to 9,272. The total number of COVID-19 cases in Iran is currently 197,647, an increase of 2,596 cases in the past 24 hours, of which 156,991 have recovered. According to Iran's Mizan news agency, statistics have shown that in recent days, on average from 12 minutes to 15 minutes, an Iranian died from COVID-19. After gradually easing the blockade since mid-April, the Islamic Republic has seen a sharp increase in new infections, especially in recent weeks. 5 provinces are now considered to be the red zone, where the number of SARS-CoV-2 infections has increased rapidly. Previously, a research center under the Iranian National Assembly in April published a report that the actual number of deaths due to COVID-19 may be more than double the figure announced by the Ministry of Health. 12. Singapore news. In Singapore, a team of scientists in the country have discovered 5 antibodies that can prevent the infection of the SARS-CoV-2 virus that causes COVID acute respiratory infection. 19. human test for antibodies, the first AOV01, will probably be conducted over the next few months. The scientists used the technique of simultaneously screening B cells for live viruses, allowing them to quickly identify the antibodies that neutralize the virus. This technique reduces both time and human resources, meaning more antibodies can be found and becomes a safe and effective treatment for COVID-19 patients. This technique has been developed by the SO in collaboration with the Yonglulin Medical School and the Institute of Life Sciences at the National University of Singapore for over 5 years. 13. North Korea news. Pyongyang destroyed the Inter-Korean Liaison Office in Kaesong on the grounds that South Korea did not prevent many groups of people from dropping anti-Korean leaflets. However, according to analysts, there are many reasons behind this action as well as other steps taken by North Korea. According to Time magazine, on June 17, North Korea warned it would redeploy troops to inter-Korean cooperation sites that had been closed, re-established guard posts and resumed military exercises at the site. Frontline moves that would completely eliminate the stress reduction agreements reached with South Korea only 2 years ago. Pyongyang also announced it would upgrade its military readiness alert level to the top combat mission system while the people were ready to start the largest leaflets campaign from before now. The warning came a day after North Korea collapsed with an explosive to knock out the Inter-Korean Liaison Office. It is North Korea's most provocative act since it joined the nuclear talks in 2018, although the building on the border town of Kaesong remains vacant and Pyongyang has notified Seoul in advance. Explosion. The Inter-Korean Liaison Office, which was built at a cost of US $8.3 million, was the first to be established between the two Koreas since the country split in 1945. Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Please subscribe Knowledge of Coronavirus channel at https://tindercom/s4gaps Knowledge of Coronavirus channel and Travel for All fanpage respectfully, and see you in the next video. Note, this is a collaborative video made between that Travel for All fanpage and Knowledge of Coronavirus channel. Please respectfully welcome everyone. The following is the remarkable news most. 8. Mexican news. The Mexican Foreign Ministry announced that the United States agreed to extend the order to restrict unnecessary travel across the common border for an additional 30 days to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs said travel restrictions were imposed by both countries in mid-March and extended in May. However, due to the complicated situation, the government of both sides decided to extend to non-essential circulation across the common border. The Mexican Foreign Ministry said that up to now, 1,038 citizens have died from COVID-19 in the U.S. Besides, Mexico has recorded 150,264 cases, including 17,580 deaths from COVID-19 in the country. 9. Korean news. With 34 newly discovered cases, the total number of cases in Korea has increased to 12,155. Thus, South Korea, for 3 consecutive days, recorded new cases of less than 40 cases. Of the newly recorded 21 cases of infection in the community, South Korea also recorded 1 more death, bringing the total number of deaths in the country to 278, while an additional 30 patients fully recovered, bringing the total number of cured cases to 10,760, accounting for 88.5%. 10. Iran news. In the Middle East, the Iranian government recorded an increase of 9,065 deaths after confirming more than 100 deaths a day for 3 consecutive days. Over the past 24 hours, an additional 2,563 cases have tested positive for COVID-19, bringing the total number of infections in Iran to 192,439 cases since the first cases were detected on February 19. 11. ASEAN bloc news. In the past 24 hours, the ASEAN bloc, Indonesia, the Philippines and Brunei, recorded deaths from the new strain of coronavirus, SARS-CoV-2, that causes acute respiratory infections, COVID-19.
During the day, only 4 countries reported new cases, including Singapore, the Philippines, and the Philippines. COVID-19 has claimed the lives of a total of 3,548 people in the area, an increase of 39 cases compared to the previous day, while the number of cases increased to 120,698. In addition, the ASEAN region has also witnessed the number of patients successfully treated as 64,950 cases. Singapore remains the ASEAN country with the highest number of cases, but Indonesia is about to surpass the Lion Island in the total number of cases. Overall, the COVID-19 epidemic continues to be complicated in Indonesia and the Philippines. On June 16, Brunei recorded 1 death due to COVID-19, and this is the first death in the country after months, thereby bringing the total number of deaths from COVID-19 in Brunei to 3 cases. In contrast, 7 other countries in the region are well under control of the disease, and socio-economic life has begun to return. Many Asian countries are speeding up the process of reopening and restoring socio-economic activities. 12. The Kingdom News, the World Health Organization, WHO, on June 16, praised the UK's use of a basic steroid to treat COVID-19 patients in serious condition as a scientific breakthrough of nature. Save lives, because this therapy has saved a third of this patient population. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus emphasized, "This is great news, and we congratulate the Government of England, the University of Oxford, and many hospitals and patients in the UK who have contributed to the scientific breakthrough. Save this life." Our newsletter is now over. Thank you for always watching and supporting our videos. Knowledge of coronavirus, channel and travel for all fantas respectfully, and see you in the next video.